Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing today? And welcome to the latest edition of the Drew Media Live Podcast. It's nice to have you with us for this Tuesday, the 5th day of December, the year 2017. And of course, I am Angelo Perry. Thank you very much for that warm applause. As always, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets of Brooklyn, New York. And today I'm inside the campus of Long Island University, which is in downtown Brooklyn, formerly known as LIU Brooklyn. We have plenty to get to as far as the world of sports is concerned, especially around football. And let's jump right on it. And Before we get to the breaking news about what happened with the latest on Juju Smith, that Monday night game was obviously hard, very hard to watch. And I'm a lover of football. I love physicality. I love nasty football. But this is exactly what you guys not had in mind. Anytime when the Bengals and the Steelers get with each other, first of all, the game is a physical nasty game. It's part of the NFC North. It's a grown man's division, the AFC North. As I mentioned, these two teams don't like each other at all. It's obviously which team does love each other. If they do, they hunt each other. But it doesn't excuse the fact. The nasty hit that Juju Smith and Juju Smith give to Beckford, despite the fact Beckford has a history of being a dirty player and giving nasty hits. It doesn't excuse Juju Smith to stand right in front of him and it taunt him while he was down. Nobody wants to see nobody getting hurt. And honestly, I don't know why the refs didn't eject him out of the game. Because if this was college football, Juju Smith would have been out of the game. No question about it. And for him to do that, listen, and to say in your press conference that you didn't see him, come on, Juju. Tell the truth. Be honest. You did see him. You want to level him. And for Antonio Smith, who is the best, who is no question the best wide receiver in the game, saying it's karma. First of all, Antonio Brown, shut the hell up. Shut up. Because honestly, you proved to me you're nothing but a clown. Honestly. And playing with that turf toe. Because if Burford would have laid you out, you would have been the same person crying and whining, bitching, moaning, complaining. So shut the hell up. Please. As far as the game itself, Cincinnati, the problem with Cincinnati, and is a perfect example why Cincinnati cannot win games, especially against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as long as Marvin Jones, I keep calling him Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones, the head coach, the Cincinnati Bengals will not win a playoff game, and they will never win a Super Bowl. And the reason why is because the Cincinnati Bengals cannot get out of their own way. No matter what they do, no matter how great they are, and they was leading 20-0. They have outplayed Pittsburgh throughout the games. But the problem is, the reason why they lose the game, and it's the same way they lost to Pittsburgh a year ago in the playoffs, is because they cannot get out of their own way. And I'm talking about setting a franchise record, and this is where you do not want to set your franchise record on, and to a lot of penalties, too many penalties. How could you call it? How could a team take you guys seriously if you can't get out of your own way? 156 yards of penalties. That can't happen. Especially against your division rival. Your hated division rival, I might add. And you basically gave them the game. You gave them the game in the playoff game a year ago, 2 years ago. You gave them, it was the exact same way. And the head coach gotta teach his game discipline. Otherwise, if I'm the owner, I'm firing Marvin Lewis, because this cannot continue. Ever since 2006, or 2003, this has been the same problem with the Cincinnati Bengals. They're not disciplined at all. With the Oakland Raiders, yeah, they have a lot of penalties, but at least they don't cost their team the games. With Cincinnati, on the other hand, you see this time and time again. And when I mention the Oakland Raiders, I'm talking about John Madden Oakland Raiders in the 70s. That's what I'm referring to. For those of you who don't understand what I was referring to. But back to the game. Cincinnati, time and time again, has cost them teams the games. Over and over and over and over and over again. And as far as the Ryan Zaire, I hope he gets a recovery. Thank God he don't need surgery on his back. But that was really, nobody wants to see, we don't want to see, us as football fans don't want to see that at all. Hates to see it. What if you like the player or not is irrelevant. This is the play you don't want to see. And also a perfect example that you don't tackle using your helmet. That's the only thing I will get on Zaire about, is that he should have positioned himself better. He should have used his shoulder to tackle. And that's where a lot of guys, either linebackers or cornerbacks or safety, have to learn to tackle. And that's where a lot of linebacker coaches, a lot of defensive coordinators have to teach their guys more. And that is to tackle the ball better. Wrapped around the guys. Use your feet. Because that could have easily been avoided. And as a talented player as Zaire, one of the most talented linebackers in my opinion in the league. And you hate to see this from any player. And it's fortunate it happened to him. So we pray he'll get a recovery and get much better and stuff like that. But as far as the game by itself, it was tough to watch. It was, like I mentioned earlier, it was tough to watch. It really was. I understand football is a violent game. I understand football is contact. And these are two teams that don't like each other. These are two teams that's part of the AFC North, the grown man division. And Baltimore. And don't be surprised if what worse about Pittsburgh is that they go to after facing that beat down they suffered against Cincinnati. They have to go to Baltimore. They have Baltimore coming to their building, and Baltimore and Pittsburgh is never fun. Listen, we all love physical play, and physical play, and we all. I'm one of those guys that love physical play, that loves hard hitting, nastiness football. But at the same time, you don't want to see the other player get injured. You don't want to see that. And for Juju Smith to do that, and Sean McDonough, I applaud Sean McDonough. And this is why I think Sean McDonough, in my opinion, I want to say in my opinion, but a 10 times better commentator than Mike Tirico in my mind. It's because Sean McDonough will call out things that Mike Tirico would. And Mike Tirico is a good guy. But Mike Tirico would never call the game the way Sean McDonough did. Say shame on Juju Smith for doing the way he did. And when he come to see to watch flags flown all over the place, and there's a lot of things, and we understand a lot of things the league have to do. But one thing they gotta do is where to draw the line in the physicality. Because listen, this is what you have to understand as a football player, okay? Or when you go, if you're kids like 18 years old or not, and you're a freshman in high school, and you're about to go into football. Here's what you have to understand, okay? And this is where you draw the line in my mind, okay? You're gonna get hit. There's no way around it. There's no printing it up. You're going to get hit. There's a lot of physicality going on in the nature of the sport. And if you're not prepared mentally to get hit, even though you're going to deliver some hits, then you know what? You should not have put in pads on. You should not have put in a helmet on. Don't try out for college or high school. Because the bottom line is this. Football is football. And I've been hearing a lot. Yes, the NFL, one thing I will commend the NFL doing now, they're doing a much better job of better care of the athletes and the athletes and their players. Because 10 years ago, the NFL faced, and it was